What's up, guys? All right, it is Sunday. I just saw a couple patients up here that were sick, and we wanted to make sure they didn't have COVID. Just going to shoot a quick video while I'm waiting on the official test results to come back. And thought we would talk a little bit about addiction in general. You know, a problem in today's world, modern society, man. We are so just like ingrained and hit from all angles with other people's thoughts, other people's ideas, with distractions, with things that to cause like dopamine infusions in our brain, things that try to keep us from being bored, things that try to make us feel good, man. Everybody just wants to feel good. Everybody wants to get the most out of life, you know? And this kind of way of thinking, this get as much pleasure with as little bit of pain, right? This hedonistic philosophy is killing people. Whether or not they are full-on drug addicts, or whether or not they're addicted to their phones, or whether or not they're addicted to sex, or whether or not they're addicted to whatever it is out there that people just become powerless to, right? It's first step, AA, right? You admit that you're powerless. And people just become so caught up in these distractions of life that the distractions themselves become an addiction, that you can't just sit quiet with your mind and with your thoughts. And one of the things that I think we need to try to, especially if you're in, the United States, right? Or if you're in a first world country where you have access to all this technology and all this stuff that's supposed to make our lives better, but they just become they become tools of our own destruction. Well, some of the things you can do is you can practice fasting. I'm an Orthodox Christian. We fast a lot throughout the year, and we fast on Wednesdays and Fridays, and we fast during Lent. And we do all these other things, and it's not because the fasting is not the goal, right? The fasting kind of becomes like this, kind of this means to the goal, right? It becomes a tool to help us in our lives. And the more you're able to say, yes to good things and no to the bad things, the better off you're going to be. And so I'm not here to preach the gospel of fasting. That's not the point. Because fasting's not the point, right? The point is what you're aiming for. But fasting might be a way that might help you get there. And so whether that's fasting from certain foods like we do in Orthodoxy, or maybe it's fasting from your phone. Maybe you need to get rid of all technology for certain periods of time. Maybe you need to go 48 hours or a month without any social media, without any YouTube, without any contact with people that are putting you at risk for relapse. I don't know what it is you're struggling with. And so maybe it's not the risk of relapse. Maybe it's not Facebook, maybe it's Netflix, maybe it's some other distraction in your life that's keeping you from focusing on something that might actually be important. Like maybe you should be reading more, studying for something, a skill, or learning a skill that you can put to use. Or maybe you need to spend more time with your family or your kids or close friends that you haven't seen in a while. Maybe there's something else you can put yourself into that will get you into a better place in the future. And guess what, guys? If you're addicted to your phone, if you're addicted to these things, it's going to be a struggle. And so one of the things I like to do with patients who struggle with drug addiction is to get their mind off their addiction to the drug and maybe put their mind on something else that they can do to focus on. And one thing I like is what we call the dopamine fasting, where we just fast from these things that are just constant bombardment on your brain. Is that the right word? I don't know. That just kind of takes over your brain. It doesn't even allow you to think for yourself. So put those things on hold for a little while. And maybe when you come back to them, you'll be better able to use them as a tool and not to be used by them. I read something somewhere that said that if someone's not selling you a product, then you are the product, you know. And I think the point is, like, maybe you're not being directly marketed to by certain forces, but you're being marketed to, like you're being used and controlled in certain ways. But if we can just step back from it, maybe we can just kind of start to make some choices for ourselves, some decisions, some like get back to some common sense. It's easy to join a group of people, like-minded people, and just kind of go where it takes you. But this has a danger to it. So maybe what you need is some dopamine fasting. Maybe you need to have some dietary fasting. Maybe you need to fast from material possessions, and you need to give away some either money or clothes or something. And maybe you need to make it hurt a little bit, you know, quit being so comfortable. But maybe you're poor and that's not an option, and so you have to do something else. Whatever it is, guys, I just want you to kind of think about it and think about how you can, you know, shift your life into a better direction so that you're less controlled by everything else and you're more just in line with your purpose. All right, guys, hope y'all have a great day. I'm gonna go check these test results. We'll pray that they're negative. Peace.